This video is for you if you are a woman, if you have chronic financial relationship issues, and if you feel the pressure from chronic misogyny and or sexual assault in your past and or sexual harassment in your past is interrupting your ability to have a good financial relationship. If all of those things are connecting up for you and kind of hitting the radar, this video is for you because I have some information I want to share with you that I think is going to help you sort a few things out so it's not quite as painful or uncomfortable for you to be present with your personal finances. So I want to talk about 3 different subject areas and then connect the dots, connect them all up, and show you how they interact with one another so that this can give you a better idea about how you might be able to interact with your personal finances in a little bit more confident way, a little bit more healed kind of way. And just so you know where this information is coming from, I am a body-based money relationship coach, a somatic money coach. I have been doing this work since around 2011, 2012, collecting data, plugging in what I'm learning, working deeply with clients. So all of the information that I'm sharing with you here is coming from a depth of experience, of knowledge, of putting this together after working with thousands of people. So you know the information is coming from a very sound and experienced kind of place. All right, let's land that first piece of information. The first piece of information that I want to walk you through is I want you to take your hand, one of your hands, and I want you to place it right beneath your belly button, and I want you to know that that is your second chakra. And your second chakra is your energy center. You've got energy centers through your entire body, and your second chakra, where your hand is resting, that is your home, your energetic home of money relationship. And the home of the second chakra is about procreation, co-creation, intimacy, sex, making babies, making greater projects in the world. And it is also the home of partnership, agreement, and exchange, which is the heart of money. Now, we tend to think that money is an object in the outside world, cash, credit cards, numbers, stock market ticker, all of those things, spreadsheets. And that is the physical exterior representation of money. But then we have an interior representation of money, an interior experience with money, which is mental in our heads, emotional through our entire bodies, and energetic that all connects in with the physical nature of money. And so when you are working with your money, yes, you're dealing with the physical nature of money, but you're also having thoughts that are affecting your emotions that happen through your body, and you're having a psychosomatic financial experience, and it lands energetically in your second chakra right beneath the navel. Okay, so from here on out, whenever you're thinking about money or working with money, I want you to give a nod and say, yeah, my energetic home of money relationship sits deeper in my body, in my pelvic region. All right, and this is especially important for women to know this. So that's the first piece of information that I want to really drop for you. Now, we're going to move on to a second piece of information. The second piece of information, you're going to have to follow my logic on this a little bit. The second piece of information is if you've experienced systemic pressures of misogyny, that can affect and interrupt your personal interactions with your finances. If you have experienced sexual assault, the trauma from that can sit in the second chakra, where the home of money also sits. And so that trauma can also interrupt your personal finances, your interrelationship with your personal finances, your ability to be present with your money. And the third area is that if you've experienced sexual harassment or systemic sexual harassment, same thing. The trauma from that, the pressure from that, the stress from that can interrupt the energies of partnership, exchange, and agreement that reside in the home of that second chakra, where money is sitting as well. So this is where I want you to connect up, that home of money relationship that I just shared with you about, home of money relationship energetically being in the second chakra, and that the mental and emotional thoughts that you have with it can land energetically in that second chakra and affect your personal money relationship. So if you've got home of money, second chakra, and the interactions going on, and you bring in trauma, sexual harassment, sexual assault, pressures from misogyny, this can affect and interact and interrupt the actual home of your money relationship. So these are not two separate things that function separately. No, they're two different elements that definitely have an interrelationship with one another. So this means, ladies, that if you find that you have chronic personal financial issues going on, or patterns going on, or problems going on, and you have compartmentalized your trauma work or the trauma that's happened in certain sexual trauma areas of your life, and you've got two things going on in two different places, they're actually very much interacting with one another. So this is a good spot for you to just take some time away from this video and just gently check in with, what Dana's talking about here, what does that mean for me? What's my trauma in one area, and what's my potential chronic issues with finances in another area? And how might that connect up? And keep in mind, I am just doing, a lily pad leap through a somewhat light video. If you are watching this and you're feeling a reverb or an O from it, that's an indication that maybe you need to take a time out and do this work in a sacred space in your own time, in your kind of way. I want to be very respectful that when we begin to talk about sexual trauma, that is a deep dive. And then when we begin to connect it in with money, that is a whole other ballpark. And even though I am talking about this in a somewhat a surface level kind of way, I'm dropping some very big hints that could have a depth charge for you. And if they do, this is my way of saying it's a great idea to potentially take some time out when you're thinking about this, when you're feeling about this, so you can hold that safe and secure vessel for yourself in a healing space. Okay? Now, with all of the women that I have worked with over a number of years with these issues, sexual trauma issues connected in with financial trauma issues, and sorting through those and healing through those, and working with women through these spaces, for a very long time, I thought this was the only data, the only information out there on this. And so I worked from that place, from that platform, for a very long time. And it's a good platform to work from. And then right around 2020, I began running across information. And this is our number 3. I began running across information for women that our vagina is connected with our voice. And that when one heals and gets stronger, like the voice, so does our connection with our vagina. So that when we have a healing and voicing and value happens with our voice, it can also positively affect our connection and support with our vaginal area. And vice versa, when we begin to have more of a connection and health and healing and awareness with our yoni, our second chakra, our vagina, our orgasms, when we have a connection with this aspect of ourselves, our throat chakra lifts, opens, gets stronger, we can actually voice more. And I have found this to be true in my life. I found this to be true in other women's lives as well. And so if you're watching this and you're going, oh, wow, that's kind of interesting. The other piece of information that I want to drop with this is the fact that our money relationship that sits in our second chakra, home of uterus, ovaries, vagina, all of our sacred feminine. This is all connected in also with the health of our money relationship. And when we heal and improve areas of our personal finance, then that's going to contribute to our voice is healing and our voice is coming on, which is the home of value. Throat chakra is home of value, voice, being seen, being heard. So with money, if you're healing with money, you're going to heal that throat chakra area of voice, value, being seen and heard in voice, value. And simultaneously, you're also going to be healing second chakra, sacred, financial, feminine kind of aspects of yourself. And the same thing, if you're doing voice healing, you're going to begin to see a shift in your personal finance, as well as the sacred, financial, feminine for yourself. And if you're doing second chakra healing work, you're also going to see a shift in your money and your voice. It's a triangle, ladies. It is a triad. And I have found this to be true, this relationship, the synchronistic relationship to be true, both for myself as well as working with other women. So I want to leave that information with you today as food for thought. And I'd also like you to be aware of my Somatic Money Blueprint number 11, which is the exploration of the sacred financial feminine. It is not a be-all, end-all digital product, but it is a product. It's a digital product that's going to give you a place to explore your sacred feminine in relationship with your money. So if you're leaning in on this and you're like, I want to learn more, what is this about? This is going to be a great resource for you to engage with and just be able to lean in and learn more and see what positive benefits the information there can have for you. I would also like you to say, if you want to do a specific session with me about this topic, we totally can do that. You can book a VIP Somatic Money session with me, and or you could do a remote video read with me if you want me to take a look at some of these issues in your own life and weigh in. All right, so that's what I've got for you for now. Thanks for being here. Make sure you keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way, and I will see you in my next video.